Hello everyone! I see I've got some people waiting. Can you hear me? As usual, I'm gonna make sure you guys can hear me so that you're not left confused if I'm just sitting on this screen and you can't hear anything. Nice. Hey Dizzy Clown! I'm so glad you can make it. This stream is just gonna be more chill than the last one. My last one was my Deltarune playthrough for Thankmas, where I finally beat Jevil on camera. I'm pretty quiet, but I am audible, right? Hey! Thank you for making it. This stream is, I was just saying, for those who just arrived, it's gonna be a chill stream. It's not like my last one where I was doing that Deltarune playthrough to raise money for Thankmas. This is just going to be working on one of the models that I was planning on making recently for Super Paper Mario. You're my biggest fan. You have some stiff competition. Who's up modeling they Mario right now? Me. I'm crazy enough to be doing that right now. Oh, but I did have a little bit of a surprise for those who are here right now, and for those who are coming later who are gonna watch it back. Hello. I was going to wait for today to work on this model, but I got a little impatient and I started another model while waiting. This one. Our little chunky man, if you will. He was not the one I was teasing, but he is a welcome addition nonetheless. Literally just in the last 4 or 5 days or so, I jumped in Photoshop, quickly drew up a model sheet. I actually have not... I've almost never drawn O-Chunks, but yeah, I just thought he'd be a really nice addition to the family of characters that I have that I would like to animate, because I already have Dementio, and I just made Mr. L. Oh, thank you! Yeah, Chunk! He's gonna get all chunky on you. Oh, and by the way, some of these details, don't do this. If you 3D model, do not do this. I did not properly unwrap some of his model pieces. I literally just modeled to texture. So I'm probably going to come back in here and bake this texture and then what's called decimating the mesh so that I don't have a million extra edge loops, like a bunch of extra cuts. But yeah, I just wanted to model his sandals and texture them. I can't stop you! Gonna chunk you to next Tuesday. Yeah. So, yeah, and I ended up using a similar technique that I did for my Geno model. So his eyes have a shrink wrap modifier so that his pupils can slide along the surfaces of his scleras. There's a little bit of distortion right now. I'll try to see if I can fix that based on my modifier stack. I left myself a lot of notes for how I want to rig him. Like, I actually do want to use a bone here for his brow so that I can move his eyebrows and this furrow at the same time. He definitely, in 3D, looks even more Muppet-ish, Muppet-esque. But yeah, so O-Chunks, but that's not who I was going to model. Let me see. Here we go. This is who I was going to model. This was another model sheet that I drew. Oh, thank you for the hydration reminder. I know, hydrate or dihydrate. Trust me, I'm doing it right now. And this was another sheet that I drew. I think this one was maybe 6 days ago, but I put it aside so I could do O-Chunks. He may have some technical challenges to him. I've been trying to wrap my mind around his cape system, particularly for how I'm going to model it and how it's going to end up being rigged. Now sit up straight. No, I'm shrimping. Don't worry about it. I was also trying to figure out for his cape things like, if it's resting on the floor, how will I get that crease in there? I may want to refer to how I rigged Gino and Dementio's cape and cloak, where I did a system like a ring of IK chains and something like that, but I haven't figured it out yet. Space Dracula! Yes! It'd be funny if you tried to make Ochunks wear a heavy TF2 outfit. Oh my goodness. I do know they get compared a lot. That's really funny. I would be intimidated if I was playing Super Paper Mario and I saw Ochunks with a heavy weapon like that. There are cloth simulators. I did try to make a Count Bleck model maybe 5 or 6 years ago, but it was not working out. I was trying to use cloth simulation. It kept falling off his body, or it would drape in really awkward ways, so I'm gonna try to see if I can rig it manually like I would normally for the other characters, so that ultimately I have more control over how it spreads or how it drapes. Because normally it just has to take this, shape resting off his shoulders, but then sometimes for his grand gestures it'll open up like this and you'll see the space textures and everything inside. Yeah, I did do that in 3DS Max. I'm not gonna do that in Max anymore. Blender is so much better. Something else with Count Bleck that I wasn't sure about, we'll have to see as I go along, is how I'm going to rig his face. Now, his face has very round and very sharp features, and it is cylindrical. I wanted to rig it like I did Dementio's mask, but because it's round it may be a bit difficult. One thing I might want to try, which I noted down over here in the margin, is actually modeling his face on a block and then using a lattice deform modifier onto a cylinder to see if I can wrap his face object around it. We'll see. It's gonna mostly be an experiment, but let's see where I can start. If I'm gonna use a cylinder, I might as well start with that. Let's go 12-sided. Shrink it down. I think that's the right width. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna bring it up here. Oh wow, that is the perfect size. That's hilarious. Okay. I'm going to bring this up a bit. I don't think his head should end just under the hat. It'd be really awkward if there were certain angles where you could see that. Shade on a smooth. Oh, that doesn't really work very well. Let's make a. Ooh. Oh. Let's do a subdivision. Like that. Nailed it. Yeah. Oh, and I also made sure to put references because his eye and mouth textures will change, so I have to make sure I can accomplish that. You thought I was gonna make Mario. I do have Mario, you know, here. In fact, this model was scaled to the Mario model sheet, so Mario isolated. Here's Mario. Untextured, but there's Mario. He looks traumatized. That or he's sleepwalking. Okay, let me see what I can do here. So first things first, I'm gonna have weird envelopes on top and bottom. Oh, let me select both of those and do a little bit of that just to smooth it out. Message retracted. No, that's a fake. It's Mr. M. It's fake Mario. Okay. While I'm at it, I'm going to take this object. I'm going to call this Bleck, ooh, I can't type, head base. And this will be his hat. I still can't type, guys. What a great start. I did bevel those edges. I should probably undo that for the sake of the hat. Let's grab that and dissolve. Dissolve. It's gonna look funny for a moment because I've got turbo. I keep calling it turbo smooth. It's subdivision. The max language doesn't go away. Oops. Let me pull that out a little bit. Okay, now I didn't want to triangulate faces. Here we go. This. And this. Ooh. Oh, you know what? I'm in orthographic, and before I go any further, I should probably copy this model sheet and rotate it -90 degrees, because I will want to see this from the side. Let's... Okay, I think... Yeah, there we go. Okay. Bring it in a little bit. There we go. Now, I'm going to extrude that. I don't know if I'm going to keep that taper. Maybe I can fix it a little like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It's crazy how his hat is... It at least doubles the height of his head. And then you take a look at the height of his head and his hat, and you realize that that's the exact height of his torso. Or at least, it's the height of the torso that I adapted for him. So, he's kind of short. He's supposed to be this intimidating creature of the night, bringing about the destruction of everything, but he's got no legs or arms. Compensating for his lack of legs, yep. He is compensating, guys. Let's extrude to make the brim. Ooh. About there, I think. Yeah, okay. And now I will... What did I just do? Oops. I extruded and scaled. I meant to extrude and move. Hey guys, his hat is done. When you use subdivision to automatically multiply the number of faces that your model's going to have and also calculate the smoothing between those faces, you kind of have to add more edge loops just to make sure that it doesn't do that weird pinching that it was doing just before. He is wearing a chef hat. It does look like that. Let's grab an X-ray mode like this. Scale out, but not on Z, because I don't want it to get taller. Hello. I tried doing it a while ago and realized several things about it. You tried making a Count Bleck model? Yeah, I would show the old model. I don't know if I have it available. I think there's a chance I exported it, but there's also a chance I had lost it because I wasn't going to transfer it over. So I need there and there. But I also Oh, you know what? I can take these faces. And by the way, what I'm doing here, because you can't see my keyboard shortcuts, for anyone who wants to do this kind of modeling thing in Blender, in order to select a ring of faces or edges or verts or what have you at the time, just go on the edge that would indicate the loop and then alt-click. Will he bake me a donut? I don't think so. Unless that donut tastes like a void, then he will bake you a donut. Okay. There. And that's not quite it for his hat. Something I still have to do is I need to get it on that curve. I don't know how to describe this brim shape because it's concave in the front and back and convex on the sides. It reminds me of a Pringle. Will I bake you a donut? I've baked things before, but I don't know how to bake a donut. I am going to be honest with you. The large purple and black donut in the sky is getting closer. Yeah. Ooh, what is going on? Let's scale that in towards his head. And then I could actually extrude that. I should make sure it doesn't clip through the top. You won't really see. Actually, you might if I take it off his head. You might see the inside of his hat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude it all the way in, like this. And then I'm going to... Yeah, I've been using Blender. I actually had tried Blender before I went to college for animation, and I had literally no academic knowledge of 3D at the time, so I was just kind of like playing around with it. I had no idea what UVs were. I had no idea what unwrapping was. I really didn't know much. I knew no shortcuts. But after using a different 3D program, coming back to it was a lot easier. So yeah, and there's a ton of free online resources. I've posted a few tutorials about how to make animation ready characters before. I don't usually go over all of the mechanics of making the models or texturing and all that, but I was considering doing a tutorial like that at some point. Okay, I need to... Oh, that's funny. Look at that. There's his face. I need to add another subdivision, or another edge loop right here, so that works. Oh, and you know what? The inside is still clipping, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale it here. That works. Okay, now it has an interior. The interior has more of that awkward shading, so I have to inset a little bit. There we go. I may want to use 2 levels of subdivision. Yeah, that's much nicer. The head is almost done, actually. I still need to bend the brim. That shouldn't be too difficult. Oh, you know what I need to do? I'm gonna grab all of these edges. Oh. And if you want to grab these edges with Alt-click, but you want to add to your selection, hold Shift, and that should do it. I'm going to... Let me see what this looks like when it is smoothed. There we go. Okay. You want a refund? Oop, sorry, all out of refunds. Oh my god. Add physics to his entire model at the end, like a paint bucket. That would be hilarious. Oh no, his heartbreak from losing his long-lost love has caused spontaneous collapse. That's kind of actually sad. If only he just collapsed like a paint bucket instead of, doing what he did in the game. Let's use proportional editing. That is not what you want with proportional editing. Let me scale it down. Is there a way I could... No, you know what? I don't think I could do this with proportional editing. I think I have to do this part manually, and I am going to do that. I gotta select these verts. Then I'm going to push that down. Let's get X-ray mode so I could deselect things all at once. Push that down. Oops. And then let's hide this other reference. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a duplicate of the side reference. Oh, have you tried Maya? Yeah, we were taught 3ds Max in school. I don't recommend it if you want to do animation and you want to do characters. It's more for like architectural things. It's much more numbers based. Oh, you know what? Now you could see the base of the hat, and also the base is a little pinched, so I'm gonna adjust that. I'm actually almost done modeling the hat, guys. Let's scale it out, but not on Z. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this. I guess I also have to grab these parts right here where the hat meets the brim. I'm gonna push that down just to match, and there. I believe the hat should be done. Oh, you've heard that 3ds Max is industry standard? It's really out of date. Autodesk kind of abandoned it for Maya, because 3ds Max is more for modeling, Maya is more for animation, but it also has modeling capabilities. Oh, Maya is. Yeah, it is. I find that Blender overall, though, is like best of both worlds when it comes to all kinds of things, like freeform sculpting, kind of like ZBrush. It has a lot of programs that are industry standard. Blender is getting there. It's not there yet because it's open source, but it's also, it doesn't quite align with some cross-compatibility that other softwares have. Like, its rigging is not the same. Its y-axis for its standard bones is the vertical, which is really strange, and it doesn't translate well when you want to use Blender-made characters for things like Unity. Okay, let me hide that model. I'm going to make a texture, and sometimes what I do is I put the base color of the character on the model sheet because I like to eyedrop the character's colors right from the model sheet to make my base textures. Like that. So I could just take, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll make these base color textures, and then they may end up being a placeholder. I may replace them later. I may actually do a proper unwrap and then go in Photoshop or what have you, maybe texture paint here. But yeah, for now I just do this just as a reference visually. X-ray mode not available here. Let's select the hat. What if if I took, oops, that ring and this ring, I push it up here, oops, I hit play, scale it out, and then what I could do is, and I should name this texture, I don't want to get it, I'll go Bleck Skin, there we go. Next, I'm going to make Bleck Hat Beige, and I'm also going to make Bleck Hat Blue, because he has that, I don't know if it's like a ribbon around the body of his hat, this, that blue part, but I will do what I just did for his head. I'll grab this color, bring it up in shade like that, get this color here, maybe bring it down a little bit, and now what I could do is I can select this row of faces, I believe it's just this row, and this little edge right here, because that's how it'll smooth it when it's rendered with the subdivision, and voila, there is the head texture. Wow, he's finished, isn't he great, guys? Faceless Bleck. Let me save, because you never want to get caught without that. Okay, do I want to try his face right now? See, the problem with trying to model his face wow, the Switch 2 is coming that soon? That's crazy. It's for spring, right? Well, it is almost March. He's so expressive, isn't he? It says everything. The entire story of the game is contained in this blue cylinder. One of the reasons why I'm hesitant to try to model his facial features right on this cylinder is because he has a very round eye, and then right under that eye, which I usually end up beveling a vertex to get somewhere between 4 to 8 vertices, and then I form them into the circular crater for his eye. I also need this mouth shape, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 verts on one half of the mouth. But because this is turbo smoothed, or subdivided, oops, I would need more vertices at each point in his mouth, because it needs to be able to calculate the sharp angles. So, something I may start off attempting to do, well, I guess I can't do it with that hidden. I'll hide the hat and I'll hide the reference. What I'm going to try is, I'm going to make a cube about yay big. I'm going to line it up. Oh wow, it's almost the exact same height. Let's shrink it to be like that. Maybe make it a bit wider. And then what I'm going to try is I'm going to make a lattice let's bring it, you know what, I can align it with the, oh, it's already almost aligned, you know what, that's not even a problem. Let's take the lattice, make it about the size of our cylinder. In this mode it's a bit difficult to see, but there's like a wire frame that I'm using. Just about the size of this. Now what I need is, I can do what's called upping the resolution, which is like adding subdivisions across this shape. So let's try to do that and see. Oop, that's too many. 8 by 8 by 8. No, you know what? Because, yeah, the weather really has been strange. Because just last week, where I live, we got snow and some sleet, and then a few days later, it was up in the 60s, and we had a thunderstorm watch. So it was very odd. Let's get that a little closer to the shape of the cylinder, like that. And I think, is it deform using lattice object? Okay. So that's what that's doing so far. I applied a lattice deform to the box just to see how it's going to behave. Let's see what happens if I scale. Oh, you know what? I see what's going on. My shape that I was trying to deform didn't have a lot of mesh. It had like only 6 sides. Shade smooth. Lend me Princess Peach's brooch. You technically could. I think I'd like to make it. Am I still here? Can anybody see me? I just got a notification that said OBS disconnected. I'm not sure why. I don't know what could have caused that, but let me just double check something. Oh, you can see me. Okay. Let me just check something for one moment. Oops. That is so strange. It said OBS disconnected. I've never had that before. Yeah, I also thought the stream died for a moment. Hopefully that does not happen again. So, something I'd like to do before I go any further with experimenting with that lattice deform, let me copy this shape. I'd like, if I can, to subdivide I only want to subdivide the sides right now, so I'm going to just use Control R to do loop cuts in the centers, and then what I'll do is I'll select all of those, because now it's going to look a little more like boxy. Yeah, you can totally see that. I'm going to grab these. That should highlight that. Yep. Where's the middle? That's the middle. So this, every other one. And I'm gonna scale them so that I could keep it round. Because I'm gonna need a lot of polys for this face. Like that. Now, let's scale but not on Z. Oh, proportional editing, I don't want that. Let's turn the texture off so I can see what I'm doing. There we go, okay. I still have what looks like some slight ridges, but it's a lot less obvious now. Okay. So, let me get that reference back. Am I still... Oh, here we go, okay. His eye is here, so I'll need at least one loop cut here. So let's make a loop cut there. Right about there, okay. And I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make 2 loop cuts, because, and I guess I could just call these like teeth. He has more teeth on top than on bottom, so I'm gonna have to shape those separately. I'm going to make 1 here, and then I'm gonna bevel it like that. And what I have now, it shouldn't compromise the shape. Yeah, okay. My goal when adding these polys is that it... Oop, let me take care of that. I don't want this computer to die while I'm live. Here we go. Nice. Alright. I need to make sure I'm not compromising the cylindrical appearance of his head as much as possible. I think what I'll do is, for his head, for his eye, I'm going to bevel an edge. It'll give me a couple of triangles, but that shouldn't be that bad. And then I can push that out, push those up, and these down. Still not much of a difference, which is good. That is good. If it sounds like I'm getting quieter, or if it sounds like there's a plane that's about to take off, it's the computer. And now, and you know what, I think I'm going to, let me cancel that. I'm actually going to add back this subdivision. Yeah, my fan, I know, it's super loud. I'm going to extrude that, you know what, let me do this without the subdivision. I'm going to extrude this in. And then I'll add another loop here, like that. Okay, it's a bit small. I know what my computer really does. It's a trooper, that's for sure. Yep. Okay. You know what though? I could probably, for the sake of this head model, I probably don't need all these extra edges in the back. So I'm going to go like halfway back, and I'm going to get rid of some of these, just as long as it doesn't, I'm going to dissolve edges. You can tell the difference right about here. Oh, nice. Yeah, feel free to do whatever in the background. You're just gonna hear me prattle on about modeling and stuff. Okay, again, I'm just trying to keep this as cylindrical as possible while being able to cut these kinds of shapes. And I think for his face I am going to have to do texture painting because he's got very soft shaded glow to his... Oh, and before I go any further, no, you know what? I'll do that after. I need to take these polys, if I can grab all of them. His eye is a little small compared to the reference. Yeah, okay. I just need... I'll scale it vertically, and then I'll have to move the other parts individually because it's going to distort the profile of this shape. Let me go to edges, grab those. No, I'll go to verts, that might be easier. Drag it out. You should be able to see it from the side and the front. I should have also brought these. Let's do that. I'm going to bring these over. I keep hitting the spacebar, don't do that. It's going to play an animation that doesn't exist. See, now I'm already starting to get a slight distortion because this is being pinched. Let's drag that. Still a little bit of distortion. If I grab these and I align them, it should help a little bit. It's so slight. It's probably okay right now. I could grab this and push that in. Hello. Uh-oh, cough drops. Oh boy, it's that season. Oops. Oh, it's just the one. I think that's about as close as I can get it. Okay. So that should be... let me move this over one more time. I don't want to grab that one in the back. I want to grab this. And I want to move it over without moving it up or down. Let's just check the shape. And I think that looks good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use mesh symmetrize. And there we go. It automatically knew which axis I wanted. That's pretty good. His eyes are kind of far apart. But that seems normal for him. That's really funny. Okay. This, I'm gonna push in that, there we go. Okay, pretty good so far. For anyone who just came in, I am modeling Count Bleck, and right now he just looks like a cylinder with eye sockets and a hat. We'll see how far I get. I'm sure I'm not going to finish this in these few hours. A character model will on average take me around anywhere between 10 to 20 hours, including making the model sheets, rigging, sorry. Skinning the rig to the model. It looks like I did, okay. It appears in my sketch that his head is tapered a little bit out, so I'll do that. Here comes the hard part, guys. For his head, I mean. I have to work on this mouth shape without overly distorting. So for now, I will start by moving around the verts that I have on a vertical. Oops. There we go. Oh nice, you're also making a genome model. Good luck. It is a bit tough if you don't have access to a semi-realistic wood texture. Oh, see, this is a little bit what I was afraid of. His head is going to crumple like a tin can if I'm not careful. So what I need to do is adjust by pulling these forward. Like that. Right. Okay. You bet I can't guess who you're drawing right now. Well, is it at least tangentially related to who I am modeling right now? Let's grab these verts, and you know what? I think I need one extra vertex on each of these edges just to get some of this shape. I'm going to try to use the knife tool for that. This is probably going to pinch his head. It is going to pinch his head. Hint, not a Nintendo character. Well, is it a Sega character? You know, I've never really done any kind of Sonic fan art. I probably should. I don't know what's taken me so long. I've seen all the Sonic movies. I've watched Sonic X. It's kind of funny if you think about it. I just do a lot of Mario, but then I glance over at Sonic and it's like, eh. So these... Also on your way to asking if it's Sega. Okay, so that is the shape of his mouth, but as you can see, with the shapes of his eyes, there's a heavy distortion with the subdivision. So I'm going to extrude this in. No, you know what? I'll have to symmetrize this first. Like that. I wonder if there's a way I can reduce... There is a way. Okay, there's a way I can reduce this. But now I have some n-gons now. Can I do that? Yes, I can. Okay. Once again, I have to rely a little bit on triangles. It's not the best topology, but, you know, if it's your own custom rig and it's not a character for video games, it's usually not that bad. Okay, so it's a video game character, but it's not Nintendo and it's not Sega. That is intriguing. Is it an indie character? Now I'm going to extrude. Let's do that without subdivision so I can see what I'm doing. Ooh, that's kind of terrifying. Yeah, that's gonna be an issue. Crash Bandicoot. As you can see, his face is very... which is not what I wanted. So what I'll have to do... and it probably won't be the best idea, but I'm going to try it anyway, is for every kink in the line that makes his mouth, I'm going to grab all the verts, I'm going to go to edges, and I'm going to, I guess I could do it here as well. Oh, it is an indie game. I'm going to try to bevel. Oh, that's going to be a nightmare. Look at this. Okay, so what's the damage? Well, it sharpens the mouth, but it now creates all of these lines. Oh no, is it Spamton? I can never escape, guys. This, smoothing is the reason I was worried about doing it. It's Chibi Spams, of course. Nice. I'm gonna try to grab these. Pull those down. See, that's a bit closer. But even if I did that, it's not pointed enough. In these sharp corners. Welcome back. You didn't miss much. I was just trying to model Count Bleck's face along this cylinder. I believe I was able to maintain the general shape of his head, which is pretty good. Ooh, how did that happen? Let me try to fix that. There we go. Yeah, mouth shenanigans. His mouth is going to be especially difficult to model because I need all those sharp corners, but this is a cylinder, and other than making edge loops across the entire head object, the only other thing I can think of at the moment would be to bevel those corners, and beveling those corners gives me stripes. So if I select these, like this, oops, I select these, I go to edges, and I hit bevel edges. Ooh, whoa, what is that? Oh my goodness. What is that? So now I get the sharpness of his mouth, but now the surfaces in and around his mouth are messed up. And that is nightmarish topology to work with. now there's a bunch of little triangles. I could probably fuse some of those together. Oh, you know what? I see. Yeah, that's not ideal. Let's undo that because that is not a very good topology practice. So what would happen if I were to do this instead? A little something like that. See, now I'm getting it in the middle and on top. I wonder if there's a way I could take the interior of his mouth, separate it as a separate object, so that I don't have... No, because then I'd have a hollow head model. And I still need... Nope, I don't want that. Because this adds some sharpness, but it also adds it down here, which is not desired. If I double tap G, I can slide edges or verts along their adjacent connections. Oops, I just want these. Just to push it like that. But then I still have it here. Oops. Oh, that's an odd angle. And I want to grab that and push it this way. Like that. There should be a way of distributing these edges along so that I can make it as round as possible. Well, that definitely reduced, yeah, and I don't mind this wrinkling a little bit because it feels natural for a mouth shape such as this. Let's save that as a separate file just in case I end up not liking it later. Let's symmetrize. I'd say we're getting pretty close. I still need this mesh to be simple enough that I can make shape keys to control. See, that was a little bit of an error. I will try to fix. Let me grab these verts. Oop, sorry about that. Level them there, like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. One of the hardest things that I'm going to need to do once I am happy with the mouth shape is going to be the shape keys, especially ones where I'm going to have to bring his mouth in, like for O shapes. Because I'll have to be able to condense all of these points along two axes without distorting his cylindrical head shape. See, and it also appears that I might need one there just to get that sharpness. Let's move that, like that. Let's go back to this bottom view. That's alright. It'll be here when you, if you want to see it again. Oh, hey Sophia, that's fine. Thanks for coming. Don't worry about it. It'll still be here. To think, there should be a way that I can merge these so that I reduce. Once again, I'm going to rely on just a couple of triangles, but I would like to reduce the sharpness in the mouth, just like that. It shouldn't affect the unwrap, it shouldn't affect the animatability, if that's a word, of his face. I just need, and I'm hitting M to merge, by the way. So I select and I go merge to the last point, like that. There, okay. I'm going to symmetrize. I do believe that looks pretty good. And you can, in this texture view, see there is a little bit of wrinkling around the mouth. But, I think with some more textures and whatnot, it'll look a little better. Hello! So now, oh, and you know what? It kind of looks like the hat hole right here. I'm gonna use this, okay. Yeah, I am making Count Bleck. And it's been pretty fun so far. I'm still trying to experiment with how I do the face because I want to maintain the cylindrical head shape without too much distortion from trying to cut the eye and mouth areas into it. But I'm pretty happy with it so far. This is kind of like a neutral expression. I know his mouth is either pointed up or down depending. He doesn't really have anything other than like a neutral smile or a neutral frown, but my intention is to be able to rig his face so that he can speak. Currently with the subdivisions, we're sitting at almost 9,000 polys just with these two objects, guys. I'm going to take some water. Oh, that's really neat. I didn't know you could do a PNG tuber with Discord. That's very cool. Yeah, it is a lot of polys. A lot of my characters I end up modeling very low to mid poly for the total count. But when I end up using modifiers like subdivision in order to smooth them out to get rid of the like poly artifacts for like extreme close-up shots, it does add quite a lot. My characters could easily end up being into the 100 to 200,000 poly count. Okay, so next thing I'm going to try to do is I'm either going to work on one of his hands or I'm going to extrude downward from his head and out to make this little dressy collar for his shirt. Big number. Yes. For now, you know what? I'm going to make another placeholder. I'm going to call this Bleck. face placeholder. I'm going to take like a gold color. I'm going to have a little trouble with the collar. Do you mean like the cape collar? I'm not too worried about that part. I feel like I understand what kind of subdivision I need to be able to extrude out for that area. I think what I'll have the most trouble with that section will be making sure it doesn't deform too wildly when it comes time for rigging and skinning. Let's grab all of these. And let's grab, oop, not that. This. That would do it, okay. I'm a professional. I'd like to think so. I technically haven't had any professional work in 3D character stuff. I had a 3D generalist role for an organization that made games for kids in hospitals before. But it was a volunteer position, unfortunately, so I didn't stick with it for too long, because a year in, I'd kind of had enough at that point. But, you know, it was a good experience builder. Oops. And it was for a good cause, so I wanted to stick it out as much as I could. Most of my professional work I've had so far is actually in 2D, believe it or not. But I do so much 3D in my free time, it's crazy. See, I think the thing is, people don't like fan art in a portfolio, and that's my vice, because fan art is what really inspires me to go out and try all kinds of challenging technical leaps in my 3D art. Oop, I missed some polys in here. Oh, and by the way, this is what I meant earlier by modeling to texture. I didn't necessarily model this in order to have these clean divisions, but it just kind of happened that way based on how I needed the pinching of his mouth shapes. I could even use this and I could mask it later when I'm doing texture painting. And grab these and get a sign. Here we go. I think that's a pretty good placeholder. He looks like he's seen things. He's like, am I being modeled right now? What is life? Oh, I see. So your issue with this cape collar was that it was obscuring his face from the side. This is kind of my current plan for how I want to shape his cape collar. I'm going to kind of bring it back more. So it's going to curl around enough that from the front, you should be able to see a little bit of the outside of it. But I'm going to make sure it doesn't really come too far forward, because I don't want to block his face. And speaking of blocking his face, I should do his monocle now. I think what I'll do is... That's actually pretty good. I'll use a cylinder. Oop! I'll use a cylinder... Let's rotate it on X. Let's shrink it down. That's about the right size. Okay. Let's shrink it on Y to make it thinner. I'm going to bring it out a little bit because I couldn't see it. Auto smooth. Oh, you know what? I'll have to bring it out even more because his head is going to get in the way. Okay. This I will need to smooth. Princess Marie, do you think you could put it on your community page? Because I'd also like to see it when you're done. I think what I'll do is I'll work on the front of this monocle. And then, when I am done, I will symmetrize on the y-axis. There we go, 2 subdivisions. Wait, let me check something real quick. Okay, this rim needs to be smaller. So, like that. Yeah, okay. Just get it a little bit larger, like that. Alright, I think that rim looks pretty good. Let's check from the side that the lens, okay, the lens isn't too far in. So, I'll go symmetrize, but let's change it to, no, let's change it to, oh, I'm sorry, is the orient, oh, it's because I rotated it by 90 degrees. I should be doing it on the Z, like that, okay. Technically speaking, the back of this shouldn't be too important unless, well, you should be able to see through it. You know what? It would be important. Okay. Yeah, why not? Yeah. Usually when I make models, I try to be accurate to the source, but sometimes what I'll do, like, with these Super Paper Mario characters, is I'll just slightly adapt them for what I consider to be my style. I'll try to normalize some of their proportions and add details that I think would enhance their overall design. Like, for Count Bleck here, I decided to give him, like, the start of shoulders. I did something similar for my Dementia model, just because you did, and I thought it would look more visually dynamic, something interesting. Oops, that is the cube from the other test. Okay. So, something that's going to be tricky about this monocle is, where does it attach? In the game, there's no, like, chain or anything in his sprite. I think I'll try to rotate it a little bit to be in line with his eye. Simply because I think I'd like to keep it magic. Yeah. Let's hide his hat. Let's go here. I want to see if I can get this as snug as possible. Sometimes when you're modeling characters, flipping is inevitable. I'm not going to slice this to bend it to his head. I feel like that would look a little odd since it's like made of metal and glass. Oh, you saw my Jevil writes spams in a letter video. Yeah, the alternate ending where Spamton realizes that Jevil is ranting and raving in the background, so he finds an opportunity to run away. Isn't that hilarious? Thank you. Bleck, monocle, metal. Let's give the monocle a metallic texture. Let's just call this metal, because I may end up using this for the rim of the brooch as well. Yeah, I know, we don't see anyone else from the Tribe of Darkness, so I feel like I'm left with a lot of questions. And I feel like we're never gonna know the answers, and that irks me. Let's go Bleck. Monocle glass. And do something to him. I mean, maybe. Maybe after it fades to black, he runs after him. Or cuts to the credits, I think I just cut. Let's assign that. Ooh, what am I missing? Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, that's interesting. Let's merge by distance. There we go. That solved it. So, I believe in the game the whole monocle is like a light blue, and it's pretty reflective, but I think I'm going to keep the rim of mine metallic, and I'm going to try to make a translucent glass texture in the middle. So let's grab this color, bring it all the way up, call this Bleck Monocle. I don't know if any of you have seen some of the art that I had put on my DeviantArt that I ended up moving to my Ko-fi. But I had this really silly comic at one point where I imitated the Fairly OddParents art style, and I did Dementio as Timmy, and I did Count Bleck as Doug Dimmadome because of the tall, pale hat. I think I'd like to remake that as a set of renders or as an animation when I'm done. I could just imagine Count Bleck going, "I'm Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome." Alpha. Let's go blend mode, alpha hashed. Transmission. It's not on my DA anymore. DA was pushing AI crap on people, so I quickly left. I was like, okay, I've been on this website for almost 10 years, but that's it, I'm leaving. Wait, is it transmission now? See, when Blender updated to 4.0, they changed some of the settings. Like, they actually made specular its own section, and then they put IOR up in the front. But I believe screen space reflections. That's interesting. Right, because this is Eevee, I could actually put on the calculations for ambient occlusion. Screen space refractions. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that glassy, at least in its reflection. It's funny, I can't at the moment exactly remember what I did for my glass textures. I'll have to look it up. Oh, alright. Thanks for coming. Have a good one. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna save, and I'm going to open another file, just as a reference. I have, in my Deltarune stuff, Cyber City, I made a car, which, I don't know if these are the Congaderos, but I'd like to assume that they are. And as you can see, this is translucent. Yeah, it's almost transparent. Let me see what the settings are. I set that to opaque. But what's the transmission? It's 0.9. And it's EV. Okay, that's 0.9. What did I set it to in this file? .7. Let's do 0.9. That's so funny that the built-in Blender HDRI image is... I can now finally see it looks like some kind of park scene with like a gazebo and stuff. Count Bleck made it to the real world, guys. Let's do 0.7. That's the render mode. Is the issue the subdivision? It doesn't look like it. So what's the difference? That's where he sits with Symphony. Yes. Oh! That's the problem. I think I figured it out. Yep, there we go. Cool. Okay. That was a little funny though, wasn't it? I'm gonna center that a little more on his eye. I'm going to turn transmission down. And the funny thing is, now I can barely see the reflections, but you know what? That's fine. Okay. So that's the monocle, the hat, the head base. Maybe what I'll do next is I'll start... See, you know what? Because I kind of want his body model to be separate from his head. Because right now his head model has a bajillion subdivisions at the bottom where his chin is. So I'm gonna start with a new object to make his torso. Let's do that. I'll use a cube. Oh my goodness. It's like, uh-oh, we stopped Count Bleck's prophecy by trapping him in concrete. So first things first, I need a point in the middle. I need to take the bottom of this and shrink it, because it has to go... Oh, I'm sorry, what's happening? Oops, that's not good. Let's go to here, bring it up. That. Oh man, the cape is what did you in with that one? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how we want to model it. I think what I might do to start is I'm going to go from like a top-down perspective like this, and I'm going to model it in like a, it's not a semi-circular shape, but like almost a full circle, because it has to come down in the front. See how it kind of curls over to clip in under his brooch and goes up into the collar area. So Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that and see how that goes. Because I've had moderate success with that in the past. I need these edges. I'm going to scale those in. Yeah, I'm going to scale those in. I'm going to grab these and extrude. Scale in even more. It's going to be his neck area. I have to adjust this shape from the side. I do not want him to stay the shape of a vase. That would not be desirable. Let's grab this. See, the funny thing is, it would seem embarrassing to be, like, the main villain and be shaped like a vase, but in Yoshi's Island, you literally fight a ghost that lives in a vase, so, you know. Now, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna grab all of these edges that come to the center, and I'm going to scale those in, like that. Let's get a subdivision, and this is about the shape of the base that I like to use. What I did for Dementio that I believe I can do here is I took this edge on the side about shoulder area, I beveled it to make like an arm socket, and you can kind of see it taking shape. And then if I just do that, I should have it. And then what I need to do, just to give it more of like a shape that I've had in the reference, is I'm going to bring it out a bit more, up a bit more as well. I could bring this over as well, because then I can get this kind of shape. Yeah, that does need to be a YouTube feature. I was thinking about that the other day. I kept thinking, if I'm watching a live stream, I'd like to interact with the users in the chat, but I can't find their YouTube channels. I need one more subdivision here. Like that. I believe I can bring these back to reduce this shape a little bit. Like that. If I grab this and I push it in. Okay. Computer coughing and wheezing. Now, what I need to do is bring that, oop, no, not like that, bring it out a little bit. Just fix that. And now I should be able to, yes, there we go. Okay, body underway. I believe I want to take these and in a little bit. Yes, okay. Take these like that. Alright. Honestly, that's actually a majority of the base of his body. What I need to do now is I need to add more polys at the bottom to flare out the vest. And I actually have to punch a hole. How many Princess Maries are there? That's a good question. Something else I'm going to attempt to do with this torso object is I'm going to see if I can extrude inward to make the undershirt, like right here. And that's going to be the same texture as the collar. And then I may want to try to add a little bit of an extrusion in the front, just for where that vest buttons. He's got one big cartoonishly large button. It's pretty funny, actually. That. Let's add subdivision there. So he's got the body base. Next thing I'm going to do is, I can't see, okay. I don't actually want the bottom to be closed. And then I want to make that little kind of cut design. There are, oh wait, this is difficult to select. I'm going to move this back so that I can better see the reference as I work. Scale those in. Take this, move it up. Oh wow, I gotta move that one way up. Alright. Let's widen that. And symmetrize. Once again, I am going to, well, it's not cheating, but I'd like to grab these verts and bevel them just like that, just to get that pointed shape, you know, right there. know what? I'm gonna undo that bevel. Okay. That bevel should do it. So now we have this shape. Guys, his body is almost done. I just need to design the collar area with the brooch, and then all I'll have left are his hands and his cape. And his, I can't forget his staff. I actually have it sitting over here in my model sheet. It almost had the fate of being an afterthought. I pray that I remember. Let's get this here. Let's. I guess I could extrude that. Guys, it looks like he has some weird turtleneck. Count Bleck the turtleneck. Oh, it even rhymes, guys. Let's make sure that, you know what, I'll scale that to Z0. Make him a scholar. Honestly, it's so funny because I feel like I'm stealing the definition of turtleneck from Bowser. I feel like Count Bleck would be the type of villain to have like one of those really extensive floor-to-ceiling libraries that you need those rolling ladders for, but he only has one book that he's interested in, and you know which one it is. Well, I guess that's his collar. Well, no, you know what? I'll bring it out. Real. Ooh. Oh, that's a cursed view. This is what Nastasia sees when she's about to get an order. I just have to scale that in to make it more circular. Yeah, it feels very meme-like. Almost there. See, the thing about this collar is I would like it to come up and over. Angry Mau Mau. Oh my god, guys, from this angle, because of the foreshortening, the perspective of the reference, it looks like he has the tiniest hands. You know what? There should be a way. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that is a way. But I'd like to fuse it at the top so that it's not too, that's not by distance, by last. I don't need all that excess vertices. I can't see. I like how most of my process of modeling this has been every 5 seconds I either need the reference or I need to hide the reference. it's either getting in my way or I need it desperately and it's not there. Okay. There we go. A collar. Oh, Princess Marie, I have an idea. If you... I could try to find your post if you comment on the stream. I don't know if you could do that during the stream, but if you leave a comment, I'll be sure to go find your post. I'd like to add a solidify like this, so that this isn't paper thin. Can I do it like that? And then, oh my, there we go. Oh, thank you, I would love to see it. Okay. His torso is almost done. I actually didn't think I'd get this far this quickly on stream. Okay, so the remainder of his torso consists of bringing the collar down in the front and then making the brooch, then extruding inwards to do the undershirt in certain areas around the sleeves and the collar, and then extruding to the side to make the overlapping button area. I don't know what to call it. Oops. You have idea? What is idea? Pray tell. Oops. I don't want to do that. Yeah, it's a sort of vest-ish. Bring that down, like that. That about does it. Before I go further... Oh, that would be so cool, actually. You know, it's not technically similar, but a few years ago I actually made a Halloween render compilation with Spanton and the Addisons and Devil, and one of the last renders I actually made Spanton a vampire. I'm gonna make... Ooh! Uh-oh! That was not my intention. Let's shrink that down a bit. Like that size. Bring it here. Rotate on X. Oops. I hit play again. How do I keep doing that? Count Bleck, Giant Ball Edition. Don't you know that's his final, most intimidating form? Get with the program, guys. Ooh, I'll have to see that too. I'll totally check it out. Let's grab this, scale it. I would think too about that much. Oh, that's funny. I've got a little area over here that I need to delete. The brooch is kind of on the thin side, at least from the side, so I'd like, if I can, to make this like metallic frame like this. And then all I gotta do is some of these, just to keep it, when I smooth it, from messing up. And then I just add a little bit of this. There we go. Perfect. What did I call? Oh, I totally forgot to rename this. Guys, this is what I meant by rename, because this is called Cubo 01. It should be called Bleck Torso. It's in the right spot. I just have to This is a technical process. Alright. And now I can actually reuse this texture. Oh, wait a second. I have... You know what? I'm gonna import the Dark Prognosticus model that I made in my Dementia file. That is not what I wanted to do. I want to append, not import. Over here. Object. I believe it's this one. Don't tell me. Oh, guys. Guys, I imported the wrong model. I made this prop and I never used it, I don't think. That's sad. I have to use that at some point. Let me get the proper one. This one. Okay. Gemstone. I want that gemstone texture. Let's make a new slot. Let's do gemstone. I'm going to copy that material, make a new one and paste, delete that, and I'm going to call this Bleck Brooch Gem. And then, I used Mimi's Diary. I would hope so. It was so worth it. Let's assign, that is a very nice gem texture, but it has to be red. So let's make it red. I should honestly save a copy of the Dark Prognosticus here. Ah, yes, definitely the Dark Prognosticus. Does this give off an emissive? No. Okay, that's fine. The next thing I need to do is, well, I actually have to keep, making the torso, but I think I'm going to start applying more placeholder textures for the collar and the main coat area. It wouldn't hurt, though, to take this sleeve and, nope, that's not what I do. Bump it in a little bit. Wait. Kind of like that. Just make it a little more solid. Yeah, that's true. The duplicate icon. I just got so accustomed to the shortcuts that I haven't looked back. There we go. Okay, that was irking me. Now, I believe the hat color is the color of the main vest, and actually the first color ingredient on his cape, that beige. And then I'll make, let's do black, white. It sounds like I'm saying black and white. I need it for his gloves, and I need it for his undershirt. So, if I could see what I'm doing. Did I? I'll do it now. Okay. Grab those. Assign. Cool. And now you can see the sleeve. But I feel like it's a little far. There we go. Ish. Let's grab these. And I'm going to bring them out a little bit. Like that. Oop. That is clipping. Whoa, what is that? What is happening? Is that to solidify? I think it is. Wow, that is a glitch. It is the solidify. Okay. There we go. That's a fix. Got it. Okay. Ah! I'm going to take those faces and also assign them the white texture. Like that. He is hollow. Something I'm thinking of doing for his textures when I actually go in and I unwrap and I start texturing is I'd like to see if I can create some kind of fade to absolute pitch black in his torso, because I kind of feel like he's hollow. I don't know how to describe it, but obviously he has no legs. Enough said. Now, let's go here. And I'd like to model that collar. Yeah, he is. So... you know what though? And I gotta push this in, but not like out too much. Nice. Symmetrize. I bet you I could, no, because that'll make that a triangle. Dang. Okay, well, let's grab these. Oops. that's almost what I want. I think it's freaking out from the subdivision. No, I'm sorry, the solidify. So I have to take some of this and fuse it together. Okay, that's more like it. Yep, that is what Count Stanton would do. He wouldn't even deny it either. That's exactly what he would do. Whoa, what was that? I think I accidentally... that's insetting. It's like I duplicated all of the verts along that edge. Okay. We're almost there, guys. His torso is almost done. Oh my god! Was the prognosticus made in Max? Up and down on this merry-go-round. Worlds on an empty page, I will write. Now you find it's the end of the line. Tuck your world in and kiss it goodnight. We perform. Destinations you'll never know. Yes. Headcanon is he's spammy and he's filled with my autism. Relatable. Relatable. Yeah. Is that not already who Spamton is? Like, I feel like that's already him to a T. Except, like, a little more dangerous and a little more clinical. All of a sudden, I can't see my cursor. There we go. Guys, look. I just need to do the front part where the button's over. I better save. You know I'm gonna save. The next part's gonna be a little trickier. So I've got to figure out how I want to accomplish this part where it folds over. What I could do is I could actually use this point. Oh, that's actually a great idea. I didn't even think about that. Copy Mario's overalls button. Okay, so it does have a gold texture. That's correct. I think this could work if I find a way to make some cuts right next to this area, and then I can extrude in. I don't think extruding out would be good here. I think I have to... I'll go here, here, and there. See, that would actually help make some quads. Oh, wow, look at that. It's already working. That's great. Alright, let's take these. I think I could extrude in. I can extrude in. But the problem becomes these areas. Let me isolate this, and I want to see if I can take these verts and fuse them like this. Because I don't think I should have it all the way to the edge. Like that. Is there a way I can... Was fusing those a bad idea? Maybe fusing those was a bad idea. Let's undo that and see what I can accomplish. Oop, I gotta unhide it. Like that. Because that gives me... more of a divide. Is there a way I can... Whew. Okay. That's causing an issue. I have this trench. I think there should be a way that I can stitch this. There is. Okay. It's not gonna like it. Okay, there's still a hole. Is that considered a hole? My computer coughing is louder than my voice. Yeah, I know. I know, it's pretty potent. Oh, look at that. Huh. That's actually, it's pretty good. I would like, if I may, let's undo that. Let's take this, like that. I mean, now it's open. I don't know if that's necessarily something that I want. It kinda got rid of the, is there a way I can cut in this area? There is. Great. If I could just zoom on that area, I should be able to fuse those together. I can. Perfect. But now what I need way to tighten this area up. Okay, how much does that distort? Not bad. Okay, I don't like what's doing in here. There's gotta be a way that I can prevent this from going all the way around. Like, fusing these verts. That one with this one. Sorry if my commentary isn't particularly captivating. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to reduce some of this poly count so that there isn't a lot of extra mesh all the way around. There we go. Wait a second, what did that just do? No! It took away the thing! Oh, that's my mistake. Okay, I gotta do this all the way around. Because I can't really do something on symmetry if it's not gonna be symmetrical. That is my folly. Just gotta get through this couple of verts. There's one there, yeah? Yes, there is. Fuse to last. It really is optimization, because, if you're smoothing... Oh, I went too far. Okay, there we go. If you're smoothing, it kind of... You'll get really awkwardly shaded areas. It'll see wrinkles in the shape because the more subdivision you add, the more it tries to calculate the smoothing, the arcs between your vertices. But the more vertices you have closer together, the straighter and crunchier the model will be. Oops, I don't want to make a new collection. So many triangles are happening, guys. So many triangles. Oh hey, that actually did something. Oh, weird. Look at that. It missed some sections of the crease here. Just adding a little bit. That's not what I want. I need to grab all of that and move it back. Like that. There we go. Looking pretty good. It kind of fuses here at the bottom. It's not like it's gonna open though, because like he has no torso. I mean, he has a torso, but like he looks like he has no torso. For placeholder purposes, I feel like making his face placeholder emissive. Just for funsies. There we go. Cool. Spoopy. As they say. You know what? This crease is a bit hard to see. Is that the outer? This is the outer, okay. There. I'd like a nice crease. Just like that. I just need a button, and his torso should be finished. Yeah, I think there's enough topology around here. I believe I should be able to get his torso to bend at some point. Because he's gonna need to, like, not just move around, but I'm gonna need him to be able to, like, turn his head. That I haven't figured out yet, because I don't really know how much he'll be able to physically move his eyes. But, yeah. Scoured says, I know you said I could use the button from Mario's overalls. Ooh, wow, you're coloring already? That's great. Okay. So... But I could take this gem part of the brooch and just copy that as well. Hello, Captain Magalore. Do I plan to make our chunks? Well, I have a surprise for you. Why can't I find the file? I gotta hide you guys for a second just to show this. That is not the file. This is the file. I actually, while waiting to work on this stream on Count Bleck, I started our chunks this week, and he's actually almost finished. Some things I need to do include baking this texture to decimate this mesh so that it doesn't have to have all those extra polys in it, rigging him, tweaking some of his textures. Most of these were just some base colors, but I want to add different speculars and metallic qualities to his armor. I need to rig and skin his model, and then he'll pretty much be ready. But yeah, our chunks. Thank you. I had a lot of fun with him. I actually have almost never drawn O-Chunks. But, oh, that's not the Count Bleck model I need. This is the Count Bleck model I need. There we go. So yeah, I actually started making O-Chunks first, so now I'm basically making them at the same time. Let's take this model, move it down. Let's go to this. Go 90 degrees on the X rotation. Control I. Delete those faces. Hide that. Let's grab the back and fill it like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to thicken it back up on the y-axis. I'm going to shrink it down. That should be about the right spot. I do believe I still have to... Okay, that's a better angle. I'm going to rotate it like this. I'm going to actually adjust where it sits on his torso, so it's like that. And last thing I need to do is then embedding it into the coat. Oh, you know what? I'm going to spin it a little bit on the Z. Push it back out on the Y. There we go. I'm going to take that, make a new texture called Bleck Coat Button. Grab that yellow. It's all the way up. Why does that look so dark? That's funny. Metallic. Roughness down, just like that. Perfect. I wonder if there's a way I could... You know what? I need a light because I want to test how he looks so far. It's hard to tell what is lacking in contrast. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I do like how that looks. Oh, there's a glitch. I see that now. What is that glitch? Did I, edit something here? Is that this point? That is that point. Interesting. Oh, yeah, I can't symmetrize. I don't want to do that. There we go. MB. I don't know what that means, unfortunately. Okay, we're getting places. I think the next thing I'm going to want to work on, that I'd like to at least get through that before calling it for the night, because I don't really know how long this next step is going to take. I would like to work on his hands, because if I do his hands, I'll have modeled literally every part of him except for the staff and the cape. So let me get a cube. Oh my goodness. It's always too large. Let's go... I'll do this hand, just because. I think I'll rotate it after. You know, I could... Let's grab this reference. Let's hide the original. Here we go. That's what I wanted. This hand I'm probably going to end up modeling like most other ones. Let me start with the wrist area. I'm going to extrude, make it bigger, because that's that cuff on his glove. Let's subdivide it. His hand is done, guys. What do you think? It's not even a mitten. I don't even know what that is. grab this part and flatten it. This part of his hand. Grab this, because I want to add some meat to his palm, or the base of his palm, like the heel of his hand. Getting somewhere. Now, let's set that a little bit. Scale that out. Let's add one here, one edge loop that I will scale out so it's not too square, because yeah, let me scale this in like that. Good, because then I can extrude the thumb, and then what I'm going to want to do that for the fingers. See, now the problem though is this. Because when you do these edge loops, it makes it very square. Someone said to Count Bleck, be there or be square, and he took it too seriously. Trying to round off that cuff. Oops. Get that on the z-axis, like that. There we go. Okay. There's gotta be a way. Yeah, okay. That did not take the path I think it would. Usually. That. I'm gonna take his hand, and I'm going to narrow it a little bit. Perfect. Actually, I think I rotated that a bit harsh. Let's just balance that. Accentuate the meat in the side of his hand because he needs some of that. Let's start extruding some fingers. It's gonna look weird at first, but it'll take shape very quickly. Very weird at first. So, okay. Oh, this is gonna be tough. It's very close quarters. They are very angular. I think what I would prefer to do for Count Bleck is I would like if I could get his hands a little less square. Not sure yet if that will be possible. This ring finger, I just need to grab that and bring it this way. Okay, now I can take this. Ooh, what the heck? I keep trying to extrude, or not extrude, but I keep trying to move things the wrong way. That's how it moved. Okay. This looks like a foot. That's hilarious. Very soon. These fingers should start to take shape. I'll have to thin them out as I go along because I don't usually have a subdivision through the center like this. So I can take these and go like that. Oh my goodness, he has a hand that looks more like Mario's hand than anything. So, let's take these fingertips. Scale them in a little bit at least. And then what I'm going to do... Oh, another thing I need to do is... Well, okay, so first of all, this finger is still too large. So is the pinky. That just does not look like a pinky. Okay, getting there. Some progress. Okay. Now let's add more of those. Not there. Let's do it. Let's start here. Because he'll need more edge loops. Oh, wait a second. Let me dissolve these because I messed up. That's better. Okay. Okay. Scale it on Y. Like that. Something else I have to do is grab the undersides of the fingers and bring them up like this. Then there's those bends, and then now I need to give each finger at least one more edge loop near each joint so that we have some bending action with the fingers. still inside. That's not the best. Okay. Okay. Almost there. Oh. I gotta grab these bends. Whoa, that's awesome. Oh man. Okay, that's all the bends. That. To give the fingers a little bit of wiggle room. I have to grab the fingers. Put them down a bit. I'm gonna bring them out a tiny bit so I have more wiggle room. Down. Alright. Almost there. I think, well, other than having a thumb, something that I need to do for his hands is I need to bend the fingers apart a little bit. I'm gonna call this, did I select it? Yeah, okay. Bleck and R. There we go. Let's give it the white like that. Close. I would like to extrude the thumb from somewhere about here. Range by distance. Okay. It's so big. Let's flatten that. Oops, no, I don't want to extrude yet. An idea. It's going to be really odd looking at first, but I believe it should work. Oh wow, that is slanted. I don't want to turn it to 0. Oh, I have an idea. Take those to 0. That's what'll do it. Okay. That thumb is a little awkward at the moment. right length, but it needs to be bent. It needs to be contained a little more. Let's bend his thumb so it is facing this way so that he could bend it in towards his fingers. Oh, okay, I see. See, the problem it's not as much of a problem now, but the problem is there's a divide, a very angular divide between his thumb and the back of his hand. What happens if these are fused? Okay. What am I doing? Good. I see the problem. There we go. That's much better. Okay. Now his thumb makes more sense. So grab this. Oh my, what the heck? Let's grab these. I know, right? I'm trying to figure it out. I have to kind of trim over here. Oh, that already helped a ton. Go like that. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that would be so creepy. See, the thing is, in the game, what do you guys think? Should I cap the cuff at like where the glove starts and put blue to imply his actual hand? Or should I leave it empty? Nope. Moxie fingers, though, sad face. I could square off the ends of his fingers, I guess. If that would be something that might look interesting. I actually did something similar with Dementio's fingers. I'd have to flatten them out. Fade to black inside. That is an option. Do these look odd? What do you think? No, the stream is still going. I'd like to try to differentiate Count Bleck's hands from Dementio's hands. Because, let's see if I could show. Because Dementio's hands look like this. They actually are much boxier. Wow, that was a very clean mesh. What did I do for this? Oh, you can't see anything? The stream ended on your side. Wait, Skyward says, can you still see? You guys could still hear me though, right? Oh no, there's a connection issue. That's so odd. Because it's not telling me anything on my end. You're still here. You fixed it. Let me try something for just a second. There we go. Sorry about that. I was just trying to check my connection. I believe I still have a good connection. So I'm not really sure why we should be losing it. I could do this, but I feel like it looks a little odd for his fingers. It ended on no boxy fingers. Oops. I think for now, let me see if I could add a solidify, because I don't want the ends of the gloves to be like paper thin. Whoa! Guys, what do you think of his hands now? I think it's perfect. Imagine trying to flip the pages of an ancient book with fingers like this, guys. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's just leave it at 2 for now. Oh, something else I was considering was adding like a little notch in the cuff of his glove. So, like somewhere around right here. Let me see if I could do that. say I bevel this vert and I delete that face. Well, look at that. Hands now look pretty mad. Nods furiously. I'll take it. I think I will take that as a win. Let's get the original reference, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to take this hand and I'm going to give it, I want to say, a 35 to 40 degree angle, like that. When I rig it, I'll make sure that the hands aren't really connected to rigid bones so that they can move anywhere they want. Too tall. His hands? Or his body? So the hand, and now what I could do is I can take his hand object, set its origin to the 3D cursor. I think I'll go for an A pose. I feel like in his case it really doesn't matter. Hand too tall. Really? I could shrink the hand, but I feel like in the original Count Bleck's regular hands are pretty large. Not sure. Well, if I'm going to resize them, I should probably take that. Let me see. What would happen if I simply just move this back a little? Wait a second. I do need that selected. Maybe that's a little more even. Okay, I'm gonna rotate that again. It's -35. Oh, you meant his palm. I see. I see what you mean. Let's take these faces, move them in. That should help. Like that. There we go. I think that looks a bit better. Nope, I don't want to rotate from Z. I'm going to set the origin to the 3D cursor. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to symmetry. What? Oh, I see the problem. That's funny. Okay. So I set the origin. Let's apply rotation. There we go. Okay. That's what I need to see. Let's separate by loose parts. I used P as a shortcut. This is hand dot L. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. So we have that. Technically speaking, the only objects that would be left to make, to model, before actually cleaning up these textures, making the actual textures, and starting to do shape keys and the cape would, well, I guess it would just be the cape and the staff. Oh, that's cool. That's really nice. Huh. So, what I want to make next, technically this isn't currently necessary, but where is the other reference? Oh, I deleted the other reference, okay. What I'm gonna do next is his staff, I think. Let's take these, scale it in, like that, scale this in, like that. I don't necessarily want this to be a perfect point, but I'd like it to be close enough. Let's take these faces and inset them. Oh boy. To this point. Let's go like that. Okay. And let's do symmetrize. There. Okay. Got beginnings of the staff. Yeah. It seems easy enough. It's just like a little gold band with a crystal. Could I take the, that? That would be quite nice, but I think I have to have it be a little less blue. Like less of a deep cerulean blue and more of like a sky blue. Let's copy this material. Paste. Let's say Bleck staff gem. Bring it over to that color. No, you know what? I'm going to... I drop it. Okay. I wonder if I should taper it more at the bottom. No, I think that's fine. Okay. Next, okay, I'm going to... I don't think you would. My last stream, I actually made myself a... Oh, you know what? I could show you while we're here. Let's see if it works. Is it working? Oh, no, it's not working. He's not opening his mouth. Well, it's not working right now, but it was working last stream. Oh, wait, I see it. I just saw him open his mouth for just a second. I don't know if you could see this, but I actually took a couple of renders from my Spanton 3D model and I had turned it into a PNG tuber. It's not working at the moment. I wasn't using it this time because I thought it would block some of the Blender interface if you guys were curious about what I was doing. But yeah. I'll hide the boy for now. Okay. Let's take... I'll go Shift S, cursor to selected. It was working a bit? Okay, cool. Let's add a cylinder. Oop. Oh my. A cylinder. Let's cut it there. Delete those faces. Cap it before I shade smooth. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down to there. Take that, bring it there. Let's move this so I can see a little better what I'm doing. I'll shrink those a little, like that. Now I'll take the bottom of this staff, pull it here, shrink it to there. Wow, that's almost done. Then I will make Bleck staff handle. Like that. And now all I need is that gold texture from his button. Let's do a cut right there, about. Oh, that's very cool. I don't have that many scenes. I've got like a welcome, be right back, thanks for watching. I've got my main scene that I use, stuff like that. Let's scale out. Oop. No, I don't want to do that. I want to bring that. I want to bring this whole piece up a tiny bit, like that. Almost there. And now I'd like the coat button texture. Shade auto smooth. Auto smooth works pretty well. I mean, that looks pretty good to me. I will be sure to name this Bleck Staff Crystal and Bleck Staff Handle. Let's take the crystal and parent it to the object. Oh, you know what? I need to move this object's origin. How is that the origin of the geometry? Good enough. Alright. This crystal... I may at some point want to see if I could bevel a lot of the edges and then like extrude inside some faces and make it translucent. So try to give it sort of that refractive cut gemstone kind of look. Like with clear facets. I'd have to see what I could do with that. Okay, so what else? I have the cape that I still need to do. I have the actual textures, at least for his face. Because like almost every other texture is based in solid color. Just need to make his cape. And I'll pretty much have, and then I'll have to do the rigging and the shape keys for his face. I'll pretty much have Count Bleck. I'm still trying to decide whether or not the inner texture of his cape, the space part, is going to be a static texture that I can just paint on him, or if I'm legit going to make the underside of his cape a green screen green, so that whenever I'm animating him, I can, in post-production, add a solid, unshifting layer of stars to give it more of that dimensional appearance. I just realized that I've been working on this for 3 hours. Oh my goodness. Maybe I could at least start the cape before I quit for the night. I'd like to see how much I can do of the cape collar, because I'd like to see it really start coming together before I call it and then continue on my own. So let's move the 3D cursor back with Shift-C. Should I do it with a plane? I think I'll do it with a plane. Let's bring this to about here. Perfect. It's done, guys. This is gonna be tricky. Very tricky. So, it's supposed to, like, open up flat, like how I drew it with it open. But it's also supposed to be able to close and wrap all the way around in front. I'll have to figure out just how much of its circumference I'm going to use. Oh, nice, you made a space texture in high school, that's great. For that model sheet, for the stars in his cape, I actually used a star brush preset I made for myself in Photoshop years ago, because I was making the FNAF Security Breach daycare attendant, and I was trying to make Moon's hat and pants, and I did not want to hand draw all of those stars, so I just drew one, set it as a brush tip shape, and then just went to town. Two-piece? For what, the cape? Oh, I have an idea. I think I'm going to start. Let me rotate this again. I'm gonna scale it down. Oh, are you talking collar versus the rest of the cape? I was considering using the knife tool to oh, I see what you mean. You mean horizontal for the part that's folded over in the front. I think that all has to be one piece, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to solidify it so that I can just work on modeling it as a flat sheet, and then I'll have to apply the solidify so that I could unwrap it so it has outside versus inside, and then I can do the beige to purple gradient on the outside, and I could do the space texture on the inside. Oh my god. He would do that. He totally would. Let's add a cut there. Let's add a cut there. And then I'm going to start this sort of thing. See, that dialogue box is getting in the way. Uh-oh. Blender crashed. Wow, it took it that long? That's crazy. Come on, Blender, please. Oh, no. I need my, autosave. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, I got it. We're good. Spamton Incarnate. Is that an achievement? I feel like Spamton is, if you took the concepts of like a salesman and a rat who's got motor oil that dripped all over his head, that's Spamton. Pretty much. Okay, so it didn't save any of this, but that's alright, so I can do that again. Save. Now I need this and this, and I'm gonna just hide the rest. Now I can go in and I can make these shapes. Let's make that one like this. Then let's symmetrize. So I have this. And now I have that, which is supposed to be his cape at full spread, at least from the back. Then what I'll have to do is I need to rotate that 90 degrees like that. How is this going to actually wrap around him though? Okay. Now I need to kind of like bring it in the front. I actually want to grab that and move that because you know what this needed? You know what this could have been? This could have been, it does look like a saw blade. You're right. there a way to take this object? Oops. Now, technically these... Ooh, that's not it. Yeah, I know, it has to wrap all the way around. I'm going to have to extrude a lot from this. And then I'm gonna have to kind of start to... Oh, I missed one. Oops. Nope. There. I'm gonna have to wrap it. Oh man. I should have done this with like a circle with concentric inner cuts, because then it would be able to fold. Oh, nice. Hey, that's alright. I do that all the time. I do old Vine shorts. Like, I took Thomas Sanders when he was pretending to do that robocall, and I did spam into that. Yeah, I know, the creators are not. I mean, it's Paper Mario, so it's not like they really had to. It is interesting. That is a very fitting word. I'm going to try to draw concentric rings from this, and then I'm going to subdivide it, because... And I have to symmetrize it. I'm not going to do it all the way around. I know I won't be symmetrical. But I know I could add this so that it could fold. I also know I have to add this because I need to be able to cut a hole in the sensor for his neck. Now let's mesh, symmetrize like that. Oh hey, thanks for coming. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. You too. It is late. I'm probably not gonna do this for too much longer because it's at the current point where I'm probably gonna get stuck just trying to figure out how to wrap my head around this cape shape. Why not post a video? That's what YouTube is for. And now, something I'd like to do... I wonder... Oh, you know what else? You know what else I could do? I could take that... And I probably should. This is really... This is a mess. I may need to come back and actually make this out of a circular mesh. Brain, not braining? Yeah. Oh. That created some triangles. There we go. Got rid of the triangles. Ooh, but that's a lot of faces. You know what? Let's undo that. Let's take this. Uh-oh. Oh, no. That's what happened to his mouth earlier, guys. And I'm also going to add a solidify. Let's shade smooth. Okay. Something else that I may need to do. Nope, I don't want to use the knife tool. Let's go to all of these. I don't know what would hurt my chances of rigging this more, because I'm gonna go with IK chains if I can. Cloth stimulation second. It is a puddle, you're right. I could bevel it like that, but then I have some awkward n-gons. The other thing I could have done would be to just take more cuts all along this. Technically you could split these into quads. I may do that. I'm gonna just make little cuts just to make sure these can rig properly. Because I know they're gonna get pulled all over the place later when I'm trying to pose his cape. And that's gonna be a mess. Oh yeah, and actually that helped even more. There we go. Okay, we're getting somewhere. It still looks like a saw blade though. The next thing I need to do is if I want it to be rigged like, cause okay, let me save a new version of this. Let me look at my Geno model because I need to see where's the isolator. Here. Okay. Because for the Geno model, and it's a lot less complicated, but this model you could see I actually made it out of a circle, and that actually helps it bend over his body, like drape properly. Because when posing him, these have IK chains, individual chains, and then I have this master controller. Static in the background, it's my computer fan. It's like with the master controller. Oh my god, what just happened? Oh my god. What is this doing? I can, move his cape around. This is going to be more complicated because his cape doesn't necessarily look like it goes all the way around. It might. I mean, I could add like a few more areas. Let me see if that's possible because I could take this edge and extrude this way. He does. He honestly does. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Let's try to make this circular? Uh-oh. I'm gonna at least try to fan it out. Maybe that's enough to this point. What? That's so funny. That's actually great. Honestly, is that not what people wanted? Is this not what Toby Fox would have expected from his fans? Okay. Oh, jeez. What? Wait. Guys, what am I doing? Watch this! What am I doing, guys? Uh-oh. There we go. I can't believe I didn't think of doing that before. All I need to do is adjust. Because I'm not gonna have these front few. You know what I thought about that would be super cursed for like a pet simulator that has spins in it? Does anyone remember Can Your Pet? I need to know. Because, I remember. Unfortunately. And that is an unfortunately. No! Hilarious. That's so funny to me. Let's take away this much of his cape. Oh, you don't know Can Your Pet? Oh my god. So, where do I even begin? Oh my god. Start. Basically, I think it was sometime back in the early 2010s, there was a cutesy looking web game called Can Your Pet? It does, it's... I sound crazy saying it, because it's actually really funny once you get over the horror of it. Is that just verts? What is that? Okay, that's just verts. Okay, I got it. So basically there was this online flash game where you had this little chick, you hatch this chick and you get to play with it and do all sorts of stuff with it. And it's super cute. You can customize the chick to like have a certain personality, stuff like that. But at the end of the game, it's like, are you done with your pet? Like, is your pet complete? And you say yes. And there's like this little, it looks like a conveyor belt, but it's like a moving walkway type thing. At first, people don't realize what it is. I can't believe I got to this topic when making Count Bleck. I don't even know what this has to do with it. But, you're right. It sounds cursed because it is. It's basically like you raised the chick and then it ends up getting butchered as meat. It's so sad. Basically, it's the kind of flash game where people would send it to their friends to see their reactions. It was honestly very cursed. Really messed up. Kind of, I guess. Maybe? Yeah. It was cursed. Don't worry about it. It's old. I bet you someone ripped it from its source and has reposted it somewhere. I'm sure you could find it. Oops, I didn't want to select everything. Oh yeah, I know. 25-second delay. I wonder if there's something I could do on my end next time that would fix that. Okay. Oh yeah. It does sound like something from PETA, you're right. I don't think it is. I think someone just made it for fun to torment people. There's something weird about the verse here. There we go. I feel like this would probably work better. Oh my god. It looks like angel wings from this angle. Guys, he did it. He stopped the prophecy. He saved everyone. Cue the fanfare. This, for now. Does that have the beige texture? It doesn't even look like it. Wait. Huh? That's so weird. This light makes this texture look light. But it's not. It's odd. Well, now it wraps more to the front, so I shouldn't have as much of an issue rigging that part. Oh man, am I going for 3.5 hours? Let me just click cake, main. So there's that. I really should have just gone with a circle. I don't know why I cut this out of a plane. But what I want to do now is I want to make at least the base for this collar. So I'm going to grab this object because it has a generally circular interior now. I'm going to duplicate it. Oh good, it actually registered that as a circle. I'm going to delete the rest. So now I just have this little loop. And now what I could do with this object is this. Oh, that's too tall. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's gonna be an issue. So let's hide the reference and the main cape. And my idea is that, could I turn this into a, no, I don't want to do that because I need the interior to be a different texture. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to move it back like this, but I don't need it to be like flared that extreme. So I'm going to grab this. Yeah, that's actually what I'm trying to do right now. But it's also gonna have to go down in the front. Rotate. Has this awkward scalloped look because I went off of that other model. What I can do to fix that is I can actually let me flatten that so I can see what I'm doing. Every other one of these I can dissolve so that it's much smoother already. Now what I'm going to do is did that do it? No. Oh, what the heck? Why is it? That's so strange. It's acting like the origin is over there. Huh. Let's do all transforms. Why is it acting like that? Oh, is it because the center is... Did I do it? Yeah, I did. Okay. That's better. It's a lot easier to work with. I gotta pull the bottom in. That is not attached to his collar at all. I also have to bring it down there. It looks good in perspective, but then you like turn around and it's ooh. Okay. Now I can focus on shrinking this. But I don't want these to shrink. I just want to move this stuff in, I think. And then I can take this, because this is somehow a technical term. Push it in. And then the only issue becomes this part, which I can do that too. That's much better. That I can work with. Now, it does come down in the front. Simon Cowell? What? Why? That's really funny. I must understand then I should be able to bring it down in the front. Yes, just like that. Kind of. Oh no, there's clipping. Okay, but anytime I say just like that or do it like this, I think of do the Mario. It's a problem I'm trying to get over. I guess my brain is already ready to do the Mario, guys. Because my brain's like, take one step, and then again, come on, it's time to go do the Mario. Who was the one who did that cursed meme version? It was like, it's the Dario or something. I'm probably gonna sound nuts. People are gonna be like, what the heck are you talking about? Let's do negative x to positive x. Perfect. Oh, that looks great. Okay, he's definitely coming together now. Where's the rest of his cape? Okay. I could even, textured rest. Connection. I understand the logic now. Let's go do this. Whoa, what did that just select? I did not want it to select that. Why am I trying to work with the modifiers on? That is the worst idea. Do I have a red texture? I do not. Bleck, color, red. Yeah, you're right. I did almost finish him. Let's get that color. Whoa. What? Oh, is that because of the solidify? Oops. I want to do that. Yeah, that's the solidify. I'll have to fix that. Wait a second, this doesn't need solidify. This... What am I doing? That's perfect. Welcome back to me, modeling to texture. Because I want to see what it looks like with the yellow on it. Oh wait, that's not going to work, is it? This is just going to look different. I don't think that's going to work. Because it's got like... Oh yeah, that's another weird thing about his cape collar. They have this yellow rim texture inside, but it has corners, when the collar is supposed to be round. What is this? Black collar yellow. Oh, did I just... not gonna work. That's what I get, guys. That's what I get for trying to model to texture. Wait a second, what else is red here? Oh, I see. I don't want it to go around. Oh my, that selects all of those faces? That's so strange. Okay, well. It's hard. It doesn't have to make sense. No, it's hurting my brain. It has to make sense. Now, what I'm gonna do is push that up. God, it looks so weird when you put that beige and that yellow next to each other. What the heck? Let's get that to be more of a golden yellow. There we go. Okay. Alright. Nice. Oh, let me move that so that's not clipping into his cape. There we go. This still has a long way to go. I still have to bring, I think something I need to do with the model of the cape before I set to fixing things and working on like unwrapping and texturing stuff, is I have to find a way to take this front leading edge and wrap it around and bring it in towards his brooch so that it goes under, and that's kind of where it's pinned. And I may need to figure out a way to bunch the topology such that it rests on his shoulders. That is a good point, thank you. I am not thinking. So I kind of need to pin it to his upper body, like just around his shoulders area and right in the front. But once I do that, it's more just about a few model tweaks, textures, and then rigging, and that's pretty much all of Count Bleck. So he's pretty much, let me see, he's pretty much at the point where Ochunks is. They're both very close to just being polished, and then they'll almost be completely ready for animation, I think. I'm pretty happy with the progress so far. I did not think I'd get this far. If I find a way to look at that old Count Bleck model I was working on, so that I could like post it to a community post or something, just in comparison to what I have now, I will do that. But yeah, I just realized I've been going for almost 4 hours. I think it's high time I stop, because where I'm at, it's almost midnight. But yeah, thanks for sticking with me, guys. And my craziness. I'm probably not gonna stream making the rest of these models. I'll probably just do that on my own time like usual. But you guys will for sure know when they're done, because I'm sure as soon as I finish them, I'm gonna want to put out render compilations. I'm going to want to try to test them out in animations. Because, you know, that's ultimately what they're for. So, yeah. I think I'm probably going to sign off now. I realize my eyes are dying. Alright. I'd like to think that with one of these two, I should be able to finish. I think O-Chunks is going to be finished in about a week-ish. And then, once I get him done, I can really focus on digging into the rest of Count Bleck. But yeah, thanks so much guys for tuning in. Alright. I hope everybody has a good night and a good rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.